Hello, everybody, and welcome to this LinkedIn Live. It's a conversation between Genetec and Panasonic. My name is Florian. I'm the Director for Video Analytics at Genetec, and I'm happy to talk to Gerard. So, Gerard, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning or good afternoon, everyone, depending from where you are seeing us, and welcome to this event. So my name is Gerard Fígols. I'm the head of Total Security Solutions from Panasonic in Europe.
So what we are doing here is we are having a conversation for 15 minutes. We're talking about AI, privacy, ethics, and all these topics related to this. And the idea is really to listen to your feedback. If you have any questions, just post them there. And otherwise, we will talk about what we think about all these topics. So let me start off. Privacy. Privacy is a big topic for all of us, of course. We all have heard about GDPR. Actually, Europe in 2016 and 2018, they did a very good job to being the pioneer worldwide with GDPR, which was later on copied by many other legislations. I'm thinking about the CCPA in California or the PGBA in Brazil or many others. So obviously, privacy is becoming more and more important in protecting the personal data of people. And I can't think of any other industry than video where this is really relevant. No other technology stores so much personal information as we do in the video business. So that's why, of course, it's an interesting topic for us. But I want to ask you, Gerard, so what do you think for us as manufacturers, what can we do and what is our responsibility there to help this protect privacy?
I think it's very important to keep the ethics always. So I think it's really important as a manufacturers to provide the necessary tools and technology to make sure that the systems can be GDPR compliant. I'm always saying that as a technology manufacturers that Genetec and Panasonic iPro, we are ready to be compliant. So we cannot say that we are fully compliant because the compliancy itself depends on how the system or how the product is going to be used. We are providing the tools to make it happen. So we are making it easy to be compliant. At the end, it's at the, let's say, customer operations users how this is going to happen.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I really think that data protection, privacy, and also cybersecurity is really something where it's all of our problem. We all have to deal with it. One side cannot say, well, it's not my problem. It's really the manufacturer, the integrator, and the end user, and the operator really sitting in front of the PC in the end. All of those have to work together so we can achieve a good outcome. As you were saying, technology by itself won't protect privacy by itself. It's always about how you use it. But providing the right technology that makes it easy and easy to achieve, that's really important. And I think connected to privacy, we also have this topic about artificial intelligence, AI, or we call it intelligent automation, where more and more we see some ethics considerations and complaints, and there's some regulation about facial recognition. So it's becoming more and more a little bit controversial. I'm also thinking about the Artificial Intelligence Act by the European Commission that was just released in April, where they are preparing rules at how AI is supposed to be used and where it's supposed to be used. So this is also being tackled more and more on the regulatory side. But on the other hand, I believe there are also many good applications for AI, right? Do you have some examples? What do you see on your end?
Yes, definitely. I would like to clarify that basically we see not AI as a technology which is looking to identify individual identities only. So basically AI is about generating the metadata in order that the detection and recognition of the patterns can be done. And how all this metadata is going to be used, I think, is the key. So, and we see some examples like, okay, so how to control the streets and building lights as people come in and go out in order to make our world more environment friendly, let's say, and reduce the use of energy. So how we can reduce the traffic jams and predict where vehicles are automatically reroute. So how more tills are open just before the queue starts. So it's more on how we can identify what's going on there, how we can be more proactive than reactive in the actions that we are taking, and how the cameras itself can be used as a sensors, as a sensing devices, instead of a monitoring devices, to be able to predict and help into the operations. And moving into the Industry 4.0, I think this is also a key item, where all the processes are going to be much more automatized, and cameras and sensors can be used for that.
Yeah, I also see it as a way of structuring video data, because we used to produce all this video data and record it, and that's exactly why we also have the privacy considerations, because we store so much data. But in the end, it's unstructured. You cannot really use it. You cannot really search through it. You cannot get any intelligence out of it. And AI, or video analytics more specifically, that really structures the data so you can make use of all the metadata that you're producing. Yeah, I absolutely agree. But on the other hand, we also have to keep an eye on these regulations and these considerations that do have a point. I mean, we do not want to have a 1984 scenario, of course not. But on the other hand, we have to see what kind of benefits we get from AI and all these technologies out there.
Yeah, definitely, fully agree. So the regulations are here, and I think are really important to keep managing the business well. So I think the regulations make easy to manage the business and make the scenario an easier place for all of the companies like us, that we can play on the same game equally. So and from Panasonic and iPro, we like to have all these regulations there, because I think it makes the business much easier for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of which, this was very high level in general now, but let's get more concrete. I believe you are just about to release a new plugin that will be also available for Security Center called MultiAI. Can you talk us a little bit about this?
Yes, you are fully right. You just mentioned now about how many cameras and data is there and how we structure it properly, right? So, and with the introduction of the AI, many more applications are available, and many more data can be implemented into the, let's say, the operations or the security operations. That's why we came out with this MultiAI plugin, which is a new plugin that we call it our, let's say, brain or heart, the core devices of our, let's say, ecosystem for AI, our value proposition for AI. And this new plugin is fully available into the Genetec Security Center. So we fully integrated with Genetec Security Center, because we are also looking for an open strategy moving into this new AI era, where basically we have a smooth transition from where we have today and what we will have tomorrow are probably much more full AI systems. And for that, we need to start moving into it. And basically this core or this kind of platform is going to collect all the necessary data coming from all the cameras and making it interacting together for an easy, smooth, and quick and speed search into the security center.
I think this point of openness is very important for both of us, actually, because it's very important for us that we don't lock our customers in. We want them to have the freedom to change their infrastructure, to upgrade later on, and not to be tied in to us or any manufacturer, really, and to really have the choice, because the future is really open. It's about open systems and being able to work in many different systems, actually. Let me add also to the MultiAI plugin. What I really like about it is, first, it has a unified experience, because you really work inside of Security Center. Yep. And it provides you great forensic search capability, because more and more video analytics is moving from creating live events, like detecting if someone is there. This is still relevant, but it's moving more and more to being able to search through the video after the fact. So basically forensic search. And this is exactly what this plugin is providing. And the cool thing about it is that you create the data on the edge. So you have the video analytics running on the edge. You don't need so many extra servers, but you still have the full capability of forensic search on the video management side. So this is super cool, actually.
Yeah, it's how we are thinking that we can bring the best of the technology that we are developing into the real operations. And we have to be flexible for that. And that's why we came out with the idea of making our systems really open and really smart on the edge side, because it's where the things are happening. Things are happening on the edge. So as much data, it can be analyzed by the camera itself and can be somehow already pre-structured on the camera and just send this metadata to the, let's say, server side or let's say brain side, so that can properly structure and redefine and put it together, but making it as easy as possible, because so many data is going to be collected from so many devices which would be on the edge. So,
yeah. And I think it's also important that you have this functionality in a video management system like Security Center that provides you all these features to have proper cybersecurity, to have privacy protection, to have all these different features out there that can really leverage all the AI that you're producing, while at the same time having the security of not breaching any data protection laws and so on. So I think this combination is really nice and unique.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm actually looking at the time. We only have 50 minutes in total. So what I would be really interested in is to talk also a little bit about the future. So
sure.
Where do you think all of this is going, video analytics and AI in the security industry?
Well, I think this is moving quite quickly and is evolving really, really fast. And I think this technology evolution will keep moving. I think the main difference that AI is bringing today is that it's moving from a reactive approach to a proactive approach that we can implement the actions, right? So, and I think basically keeping this in mind, the technology of AI is going to keep expanding and keep evolving. I'm always saying that I see a comparison between, let's say, the smartphone and what we are seeing today with the AI technology. So I see the camera or the software as the smartphone itself, and all the AI plugins are kind of all the applications that can be built here. And this is going to keep expanding and booming depending on the customer needs. And I think many more applications will come into the market. So to fit these customer needs, the point is how all this can keep under the, let's say, the ethics, the GDPR, and keep following the, let's say, the rules that are going to be put in place, which are going to be maintained and I think expand. But I think if this follows in this way, I see it more that people will start seeing that AI and security cameras are not anymore the big brother. Is moving into a big benefit that they can bring because of all the applications that can be helped by the metadata that can be analyzed.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I think video analytics in the future will not so much be something you just buy separately, like one by one. It's really something that will be embedded everywhere. It will be some video analytics will be a commodity. Good video analytics, maybe not, but it will run at the core and will produce data in the background. And as we're seeing with the plugin, that's the first step there, where, as you were saying, you're producing metadata on the camera that you're streaming to the platform. And in Security Center, it's actually it's there. The metadata is stored in a separate metadata stream. That's we call all the streams the Fusion stream, which is some proprietary technology there. So all the metadata is in the stream and can be read out of there, what essentially the plugin does. And I think this will happen more and more. You will see so much metadata coming from everywhere. Video analytics being one source, but all the other sensors being another source as well. It will be just ubiquitous. It will be everywhere, and many times the operator will see the benefits of video analytics without even realizing that they're using video analytics. They will just get notifications, they will get insights, they will be able to search through it without specifically knowing that this technology. This is just the start right now of something much, much bigger. We actually got a question in the chat where we were asked, what does it mean to use Panasonic cameras to comply with GDPR and the specifications of the data protection officers? Yeah, do you have an answer to that?
Yeah, basically, the camera is part of the overall system. So, and how you have traceability on who is accessing to this camera and which actions is doing with this camera, or if you are recording, for example, in the SD card of the camera, that this data can be encrypted in order that cannot be stolen. So all these actions is what we are doing to make GDPR compliant. Of course, the compliance on the camera itself is limited because the actions that you can do it on the camera are limited. But even on that area, we are making sure that we are as much GDPR as possible compliant. Or like firmware is also encrypted, so to avoid that any kind of data can be extracted from the camera firmware itself.
I think what's important to point out regarding GDPR and really all the data protection regulations out there globally really is they don't regulate technology. They regulate how you treat data. It's about what data do you record, who has access to this data, do people have the right to delete their own data, to have access to their own data? So it's all about implementing the whole process and how you use the systems. So obviously a single camera cannot guarantee that you comply to it. It can provide you the tools to make it easy. But in the end, it's about the actually usage of the whole thing, and that you implement the right processes, the right privileges, who has access to the data. So all of these things, and we all have to play a role there. It's really the manufacturers, it's the integrator who installs the system, it's the end user who operates the system. This is very important when you think about GDPR. But at the same time, it's important that you have the proper tools, because not every system has encryption. Not every system can handle privileges properly. Not every system can really guarantee that if data is recorded, that it stays recorded, is not lost somewhere. So all of the whole process is really really important there. So I think we're going close to the end. Is there anything else you would like to add regarding trends or the future?
I think the security is changing quite a lot. So as an industry itself, it evolved a lot over the last year, as you mentioned before, moving from a more closed system to open platforms. And this openness will remain. And the AI is just going to make it even more expandable and more bigger. So in as an industry itself. So, but yeah, I think we are doing the right things. So making sure that we keep this openness with the right ethics and the right actions to make and keep our system and our partners and customers protected, so that their privacy at the end is well protected. I don't know, what do you think about that?
Yes, actually, when you were saying openness, I was thinking that in a way we're also democratizing access to the data and to the AI, which is completely the opposite to a closed system, which only provides you the data if you really use the same system to access the data. And if you don't have the system anymore, the data is lost. While with openness, you democratize it and you let people decide what they want to use in the future. And if we do a good job, if we create good systems, then they will stay with us. But it's really up to us to create good products. It's not about locking anybody in to be able to have access to the data. So I kind of like this idea. And I also, Pierre has talked a lot about this, that our mission is also to create tools to protect liberal democracies. And one of these things to protect liberal democracies is also to provide access to the data. So I think this all ties in, again, with the ethics and with the privacy and with AI and the whole video business. So I think it all makes sense. And to answer the question of our initial title of this talk is, I think, yes, they all can go together. Privacy, AI, and video analytics can go together, and they can actually do a very good job if we do our job very well. So I think this is it. I just would like to remind everybody, if you have any comments that you would like us to address in the future, please leave them here, and we will try to address them. And finally, I want to highlight that we're just launching our new YouTube channel called Video Analytics 101, where we are doing these kind of interviews and many other topics. So head over to YouTube and subscribe over there. There's lots of content over there already. All right, so thanks everybody, and see you next time.
Thank you very much. See you next time.